Mightyreacts, back with the reacts. Today we are reacting to the man Ray Williams. She died for a Nintendo Wii. That's crazy, bro. But hey, enough of the talking. Let's react.
So this woman ends up dying in a water drinking contest. Now the woman's name is Jennifer, and Jennifer's
In a water drinking contest.
28 years old, living in California, and one day in 2007, she hears about a contest on a local radio station. And the contest is run by one of those wacky, obnoxious radio morning shows, and in this contest, contestants have a chance to win a Nintendo Wii. And all the contestant has to do to win is drink gallons of water and not pee for as long as they can. Basically, if you can hold it and not pee longer than the rest of the contestants, you win the Nintendo Wii. And the
Bro, that's a bad challenge, bro. You can
radio hosts are calling it
water.
Hold Your Wii for a Wii contest. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's a Nintendo Wii. What do those cost, like $200? Why go through all that for a prize worth $200? Well, remember, it's 2007, and the Nintendo Wii was just released the Christmas before. So they are hot during this time, and they're hard to get. They're apparently sold out everywhere. And Jennifer, I mean, she doesn't game. She has no interest in gaming. However, she does have 3 kids, and because she's a good mom, she really wants to win this Wii.
Bro, that's sad, bro. She went to try to win the Wii for her kids and end up dying, bro. That's really, really sad, bro.
For them. And so, on the morning of the contest, Jennifer shows up to the radio station, and she is ready to win. And there are around 17 other people there, all who are hoping to win as well. And so, boom, the competition starts, and Jennifer and the others, they start chugging all this water. Now, the contest requires them to drink 8 ounces of water every 15 minutes. And this is about 8 ounces of water. So this is what they have to drink every 15 minutes. And it might not look like much, but it adds up real quick. Not to mention that if she or any of the other contestants pee or throw up, they are immediately eliminated. And so they're all there, and they're drinking as much as they can, and it doesn't take long before they all start feeling pretty sick. Meanwhile, the radio hosts, they're all joking, and they're heckling the contestants because, I guess that's part of the show. And listeners are at home hearing all this going on, and some of them are calling into the show saying that they're worried about the contestants because drinking all that water can actually be...
Yeah, look, it seems like an easy challenge, but it's not. The more you drink, the more you're gonna fill up. And holding your pee while drinking water is dangerous.
Pretty dangerous. But the DJs, no, they just laugh it off and they say, well, they're not responsible if something bad happens.
Big time releases, so we're not responsible. It's okay.
And if they get to the point where they have to throw up, then they're going to throw up and they're out of the contest before they die. So that's good.
Bro, how are you not responsible if y'all organize this game, this challenge? Of course you are responsible for it. Bro, that's bad people.
Right? How come you guys didn't do it?
Thanks for looking out, though. We don't want to die.
Oh, okay. Let me ask Carter if anybody's dying.
We ain't dying.
Hey, Carter, is anybody dying in there?
We got a guy that's just about to die.
Yeah.
30 times the release.
That's
and
fucking
so
bad.
about an hour goes.
And they're doing that all for the views, all for the money. Like, bro, you gotta be thinking, bro.
And at this point, some contestants have dropped out already. But Jennifer, she's still there. She's chugging away. But then the hosts double the water intake. So now they're making them drink 16 ounces every 15 minutes, which this is actually 16 ounces, which again, this looks somewhat manageable, but it
Every
adds
50
up
minutes.
real quick.
Yes.
And so at this point, like immediately one of the contestants barfs. And this triggers a couple of others who also barf. And so they're all immediately eliminated. Now, Jennifer, she doesn't throw up, but she's starting to feel sick. And she's feeling drunk and disoriented, and she has a massive headache, which is something that can happen if you drink too much water too quickly. Meanwhile, the station is still getting calls from listeners who are concerned about the contestants. A nurse even calls in to warn them that this is a bad idea.
I want to say that those people that are drinking all that water can get sick and possibly die from water intoxication.
Yeah, we're aware of that. Big time releases, so we're not responsible. It's okay.
Bro, again with this bullshit answer, we're not responsible. Bro, of course you are responsible. But bro, at this point, a nurse called y'all and advised y'all to that about this challenge is dangerous, and y'all keep going.
So clearly, the DJs just aren't taking these warnings seriously at all.
Bro, they're
they
not
just
taking
keep
it
laughing
serious
off
at
the
all.
contestants getting sick. And at one point, they even put Jennifer on the air and ask how she's doing.
My head hurts. They keep telling me that it's the water, that it'll tell my head to hurt and then it'll make me puke, but
Who told you that, the intern?
And from here, it just all keeps going downhill.
I understand for this woman. She went to do this challenge for her kids to win the Wii. I understand that completely. But at that point, you're feeling bad, you should have just stopped. But I understand her completely, bro.
At one point, there's a contestant who gets sick and she's on the floor for an hour, like with her teeth chattering. And of course, the DJs are just laughing at her and they're all like cracking jokes about the girl who's spazzing out on the floor. And they're also taking pictures of her and the other contestants throwing up. I mean, these DJs, they're having a great time. While
These are
Jennifer,
bad
her
people.
condition just keeps getting worse. Like her stomach is all swollen and sticking out with all that water, making her look pregnant. And the DJs are making fun of her for that. And she feels terrible. She feels like she's about to pass out. But the contest keeps going. And people keep getting eliminated. And now it's down to the final few. And so Jennifer, she keeps pushing. I mean, she knows that a win is within reach, and she really, really wants that Wii for her kids. And
That's
so
a good
then,
motto. You
boom,
will do
another person
everything
gets
for your
eliminated.
kids, right?
And then, boom, another. And at this point, this contest has been going on for 4 hours.
True.
And it's finally down to only 2 people left, Jennifer and one other contestant. And so she hangs on. And this is painful, but she is not going to give up. Her head is pounding, but she is determined to fight through this and win that Wii. However, after a few more rounds, unfortunately, Jennifer just can't stand the pain anymore. She's drank
Obviously.
nearly 2 gallons of water without going to the bathroom or puking. So ultimately, she gives in and she loses and comes in second place. And so she doesn't win the
Damn it.
contest and therefore doesn't win the Wii. But she does win Justin Timberlake concert tickets, so congratulations. And as sick and as awful as she's feeling, she manages to fake a smile as they take a picture of her holding up the tickets. And here's another picture. And so now the contest is over, and no one died on the air like the callers said, and so the contestants, they can all recover, and everyone can go home, and everyone is gonna be fine. Until... Unfortunately, Jennifer is still feeling really sick. And she gets into her car and she's crying because her head hurts so bad. And she immediately calls her work and she calls in sick. I mean, there's no way she's gonna be able to make it into her shift. And by the time she gets home, her head is still hurting really bad. This is like the worst pain she's ever felt in her life.
Damn, bro.
Now, what she doesn't know is that this is not just a regular headache. I mean, her brain is actually swelling from having too much water in her system because that's what can happen when you overhydrate. It's actually called water intoxication. And as
didn't know
Jennifer's
that.
brain swells, it's pushing against her skull and causing a lot of pressure. And then she goes into the bathroom and all this pressure on her brain makes her collapse onto the floor. And she goes into a coma, and there she unfortunately dies. And of course, this is all so sudden
Sad,
and
bro.
unexpected. They have an autopsy done, and the medical examiner rules that the cause of death is definitely water intoxication. And this is not only tragic, but it's a big deal because the DJs at the radio station were warned over and over again. And so the morning show is
Exactly.
immediately canceled, and like 10 people at the radio station are fired over this, including all the DJs of that morning show. And Jennifer's husband, he ends up filing a lawsuit against the
Yeah, of
company that
course,
owns the
of
radio
course.
station. And as it turns out, despite what the DJs kept saying about legal releases and whatnot, Jennifer never actually signed one. And I don't know if they forgot to get the contestants to sign or if the DJs were just lying to everyone who
There
called
wasn't
in,
bother to
but
do
there
that.
is no record of Jennifer
Bro, you heard him already say if something happened, it's not they're responsible. So why they would give them a paper to a contract to sign? They wasn't care. They only wanted them to do the challenge for them to get the views, whatever they wanted, and that's it. But sad for this woman.
For ever signing one. And so they all go to court, and the radio station loses the lawsuit, and Jennifer's family is awarded $16.5 million.
Nice.
Wow.
But still, the family's gonna feel, the pain for all of that. But hey, shout out to the husband. Did a great job. And yeah, man, be careful with those water challenge, because you see, it can be dangerous. I didn't know all of that, but I did know. But if you drink too much water, it's gonna fill up, and exactly without peeing. But hey, shout out to Ray Williams for this amazing story. See you guys on the next reaction. Peace.